public hearings of the Commission. Imam, you have the floor. If you can offer some prayers, please.
Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Inna fatahna laka fathan mubinan liyaghfira laka ma taqaddama min dhanbika wa ma ta'akhkhara. Wa yutimma ni'matahu 'alayka wa yahdiyaka siratan mustaqiman. Wa yansuruka Allahu nasran azizan. Huwa allazi anzala as-sakinata fi qulubil mu'minina liyazdadu imanan ma'a imanihim. ولله جنود السماوات والأرض وكان الله عليما حكيما سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amen. Shukran, Imam Jallo. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God Almighty, we continue to thank you for your goodness, for your mercy, your graciousness, your love, your protection over each and every human being throughout the whole wide world. And we continue to thank you for those of us in this nation, the Gambia. And we thank you for the TRRC. And we continue to submit all the witnesses that will come here. And we do ask that of your mercy, you shall grant that all of them shall speak the truth, and you shall also grant the commission the discerning spirit to discern between truth and falsehood. And we continue to pray equally for the whole nation, the Gambia, and those that are in the diaspora, that they will have the spirit of patience and to allow the due process of the law to take its course. You being the just judge, will grant each and every one their due portion in due time. This we ask to Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Bishop Odeko. Council, if we are ready with this morning's witness, you may proceed, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, and members of the audience. Mr. Usher, kindly bring in the witness, please.
I, Amadou Jogo Sow.
Min Amadou Jogo Sow.
Min Amadou Jogo Sow. Do swear that.
Miɗo huɗo.
Do huɗo. I'll speak the truth.
Ko gonga mi haalata.
Ko gonga mi haalata. The whole truth.
Gonga rek.
Gonga ta. And nothing but the truth.
Mi haalata ɗo ko wona gonga.
Mi haalata ko wona gonga. So help me God.
Yo Allah wallam.
Allah wallam.
Good morning, Mr. Witness.
Jawwali Sede.
Welcome to the TRRC.
Moyoma bismillah e yeso TRRC do.
Thank you for your willingness to testify before the Commission. Before you commence your testimony, I wish to inform you that it is a criminal offense to lie under oath.
Hala ko andandama heɓaki misal ko ɗum fenande de hite do hiɗa wati ɗum ko baɗe bonɗe e nder loi.
It is also an offense to provide false or misleading information to the TRRC.
Kadi ko baɗe bonɗe kadi ko ɗum yeso loi on pour haalugol jonnugol haalakal andanda wondema wona gonga e yeso TRRC on ɗo.
Do you understand?
Nda a faami.
Yes, I understand.
Perhaps maybe you should sit closer to the microphone.
Yes,
so that we can hear what you have to say. Okay, Mr. Witness, kindly tell us your full names, please.
Amadou Jogo Sow.
Amadou Jogo Sow.
What is your date and place of birth?
I am 51 years old.
And what is your place of birth?
I was born in Guinea, Guinea-Conakry.
And being 51 years old, you were born in 1969.
Joni wiɗa ko duuɓi capanɗe jowi e goho heɓuɗa aw no wayni hitande nde jibina ko ɗum 1969.
Yes, that's it.
And you said you were born in Guinea-Conakry, correct?
Wiɗa ko Guinea leydi Guinea jibinaɗa Conakry.
Yes.
When did you first come to the Gambia?
Hitande wonni hitande premier nde arɗa ko leydi Gambie ɗo.
93.
It was in 1993.
And could you and what did you do when you arrived in Gambia in 1993?
Honno waɗu ɗon gila arɗon ka leydi Gambia ɗo ɗum won hitande wiyetende 1993.
I was a trader.
You were born in 1969. You said you came to the Gambia in 1963. Sorry, 1993. When was the first time you ever came to the Gambia?
Wiɗa wondema ko 1969 jibinaɗa te 69. 1969 ko nden hitande jibina ɗon. Joni arɗa e leydi Gambia ɗum wonde 1993. Joni ko hitande honde woni ni hitande ido nden nde arɗa ko leydi Gambia ɗo ko ɗum woni landade.
93.
I came here in 1993.
Where did you grow up?
Honto jandu ɗon?
Bundu.
Bundu.
How old were you when you lived in Bundung?
Giyandema hoɗu ɗon Bundung ko duuɓi jel heɓuno ɗon?
I was around 20-something years.
So when you first came to Gambia, you were already 20-something years.
Right? 24
years.
Yes.
In your statement here, I have it as that you migrated rather to the Gambia while you were a teenager. That's not correct, is it?
Statement ma ɗum woni haalama ka jondirɗa kan ko winda kon bo yi toon no windi wondema a ari ka leydi Gambia ɗo hari ka paykum.
On tuma I heɓani taw duuɓi nogay. Yes, when I came here I was 20 years plus.
Okay, so it's not correct that you were a teenager when you arrived here.
No wayni ko winda ɗon ko wigol wondema ko araynoɗa ɗo ko a paykum ɗum ɗon wona gonga.
Where did you live before you moved to the Gambia in 1993?
Honto hoɗunoɗa ɗo a arde Gambia ɗo 1993 ko honto hoɗuno ɗon?
Tawi miɗo wonde baba Liberia.
I was staying with my father in Liberia.
And did you receive any formal Western education?
Nda a jangi jangugol porto?
min ko Quranum jangi.
No, I read the Quran.
And when you moved to the Gambia in 1993, what did you do?
Kenen dama sottu don ardon leydi Gambia do hitande wietende 1993 ko hondu waddo?
Mi yeeyay.
I started trading when I came to the Gambia.
In what?
E hondum e sengo hondum wadi yeyeno don?
Mi yeeyi do goro, mi yeeyi do bofo.
I started by selling cola nuts and eggs.
And as at 2015, what business were you doing?
Hitande wietende 2015 ko business façon hombo wadayno don?
Mi do yeeyde Costa Road.
I was selling around the coastal road area.
And you know a person called Abbas Jaju?
Hinda hidandi waji wietedo Abbas Jaju?
Yes, I know him.
Could you tell us how you came to know him?
Dahida way halande be ko honno hebondirda mako ha andondir don?
Very briefly, huh?
Nder rabbina hatan ara jutinani.
Mi andu Abbasi nder komi jindata ko men fotti tawi mo moƴƴina affaire kaydiji visa.
Well, I came to meet him when I was selling things on foot, going and coming. That's the time when we met, and I learned that he used to help people to prepare visa for them.
Yawgol Turkey.
People who wanted to go to Turkey.
No, mi andirim.
This is how I came to know him.
Have you had any business dealings with him?
Da amedi hebidre mako business?
Yes.
And could you tell us what kinds of business dealings you had with him?
Dahida way halande yimbe ko façon business hombo hebondir don?
Just very briefly.
Rabbindinata.
Business kange.
Yes, our business between myself and him was in gold.
And you would agree with me that some of those transactions were somewhat dubious.
We ajabana mo wonde ma sifa den golle sifa den ko golle de andanda wonde ma ko golle tapale de yadan e lawol.
Tamoyde ko tapale de yimbe ko dum wuri.
Well, I cannot say that it is a dubious thing, but as far as he was doing it for a living, well,
some people live in that.
Some people, that's what they do for a living.
I don't understand the answer.
He said that, well, some people do that for a living, to earn a living.
What I'm saying is that those gold transactions involved some element of fraud.
We ko woni ko wiwde sifa den on business sifa natugol e mum sengo feccere e mum dum non hare ko tappale woni e mum feccere den fo hare ko na ko fewi woni e mum.
Yes, that's the way it is.
And in 2015, did you have occasion to travel out of the urban area to Basse?
We hitande wede 2015 da hebuno arsike on pour ya hoɗoyɗa ka nder leydi ɗo ka dowriji to.
Yes.
And can you tell us what happened during that trip?
Da hiɗa wawi haalande yimɓe ko honɗum waɗuno e ngal koɗungal ma ko yarunoɗa ka dowri to ka nder leydi ɗo ka dowri?
Ko kamiyay ka dowri ko sukano wiye Saydou Sow.
The reason why I went for that trip, I have a colleague or a friend called Saydou Sow.
Nodimi bimbi.
He called me in the morning. And he said he wanted to meet me. I told him, I am presently far away from you. He asked me, when do you think you will be coming? I said, well, I don't know as yet. And we waited until around 2 p.m. He called me again.
What was his reason for calling you?
Initially, he didn't tell me anything. And he called again around 2 o'clock.
But did you have a working relationship with him?
Yes,
I knew him at the place where Abbas used to do his trade. In fact, he's the guy who sits at the door of Abbas' trading place.
And he called you several times. Did he at any stage tell you what he needed you for?
Yes, he later told me.
What did he say?
He told me that Abbas has sent him to me. I asked him, what did Abbas send you for? He said there are certain boxes out of his office which were placed outside, and he wants me to come and collect those boxes from the place where they are presently placed. I told him, as I told you, I'm very far away from that area, but I am on the way. Then I told him that I have a junior there called Wuri.
My age mate. I have an age mate.
Suka.
Gore.
Okay.
Called Wuri?
Wuri, yes. Somebody called Wuri. Then I said to him, wait, let me call Wuri so that he can come there and you see him.
Okay. Why were you called to come and take these boxes?
Konon tungono dirilang wahala nilang wi ko Abbas wi mo yo nodang.
Well, he didn't explain anything. He just told me that Abbas sent him to call me to come and remove those boxes from there.
At this stage, where was Abbas?
Abbas
no NIA.
Abbas was at the NIA.
What was he doing there?
At that time, he was arrested.
What was he arrested for?
At that time, I didn't know the reason for his arrest.
Did you later come to know the reason for his arrest?
Yes, I later came to know.
And what was the reason for his arrest?
He was arrested for money.
Was it for money or was it for money doubling?
Men jonde do sa joni men men dudina ma mbudi maɗin ko wiyata money doubling.
Min ko fi mbudi mi andi parce que ɓayri mi hewti ton ko on say mi andi sa hay saydu ko noddimi kon haalanimi wona Abbas nelimo ko kanko tun ani noddimi.
Well, I cannot explain, I cannot categorically say it was because of money doubling, but it was the time when I reached there. In fact, I came to discover that Abbas didn't send Saidu to call me. They were just a little bit distressed. That's why Saidu decided to call me. Then I learned that Abbas was arrested because of money, whether it was money doubling or I was not clear. They didn't make that categorically clear to me.
Mr. Witness.
We said
just speak the truth.
I will tell the truth.
Abbas was arrested for money doubling, correct?
wi Abbas ko nangira kon ko duwoni wiyata ko money doubling.
Hey.
Yes.
Thank you.
Jara.
And you were called to help conceal some of the materials used in that process.
Oui.
Those included the boxes.
Oui. Ko noddirara kon ko ɗum woni pour an ara wallaɓe suuɗa ɗin keesuji ayi ɗin keesuji bagage uji wonɗi toon ɗin ko ɗin ɓe nafitori ɓe waɗi ko ɓe waɗi ɓe liggori ɗi kalisiji ko Abbas nangira kon.
Yes, that's true.
And the reason why you were called and not anybody else is because you had a relationship with Abbas, correct?
Oui, sa yi ɓe noddima an te ɓe noddani goɗɗo goo an e Abbas iɗon waɗi ni jungo e faandu onon ɗiɗo juuɗe mon ɗon no waɗon ni jungo e faandu ko onon ni woni gollidude.
No meɗen anndidire kono na men en golludude.
Well, we are acquainted, but it is not part of it that we work together.
On that transaction for which he was arrested, your testimony is that you were not working together with him, correct?
Munda hino wa ini ko nangira kon e an ko seede yagal ko wonɗa ko hollire ɗo ko ɗum woni wiɗa wondema an e makko on ala e gollidude.
Yes.
Please answer by saying something instead of
wi
say something.
A jaaboto tan haalu goɗɗum acca wi'gol nunɗugol tan.
Hey.
Yes.
So it is your testimony that on that transaction you were not involved at all.
wi joni ko wonɗa kon gas jooɗiɗa ɗo ko wonɗa kon e seeditaɗe ɗo ko ɗum woni ɗum Abbas ko nangira kon ɗum woni on ko nangira kon ko wonɗa ko e jondire ɗo ko ɗum woni an a tawaka e mum.
Hey.
Yes.
We will not concern ourselves with that. We would just focus on the things that happened to you after you returned to Banjul, correct?
Oui.
Okay.
Commission on nini wona ko men haajaka e ma an kono ko heɓuma kon giyandema immorɗa Banjul ko ɗum commission on haajora.
After several calls you received from Seydou, did you eventually return to the Combos?
wi gilandema o Seydou nodduma laabi ɗuɗuɗi dakka sakkitor ɗum a ruttiti no arɗa e nder leydi Kombo.
Me arno.
Yes.
6.
Yes, I came and I arrived in Kombo here around 6 p.m.
And tell us what happened when you arrived.
Joni ɗa wawi haalande yimɓe ko honɗum waɗi gilandema hewtuɗa leydi Kombo.
As Saidu no dilam.
As far as it was Said who called me.
Min mo joni honto wonda.
When I arrived in Kombo, I asked him, "Where are you?"
Oyo mi aro ha turntable Alibaba.
He told me to come up to the point where they call Alibaba's turntable.
At this stage, had you already spoken to Wuri or not?
Oyi o wattuɗo nda haldi e o wiyete ɗo wuuri nda ko hono.
Hari mi haldi e wuri.
Yes, I had already talked with Wuri.
And
He was resident at Sinchusori.
What relationship did you have with him?
On wuurijo ko honɗum woni hakkude mon.
Tawo ari ka kango jippi ka galle.
When he arrived here, I hosted him.
And what did you tell him?
Honɗum wi'uɗamo?
Mi inni mo yo ƴettu oto ngo o yaha o yiida e Saidu noddi kono mi ala ɗo yo yaw ɓe yiida.
I told him to take a vehicle and go and see Saidu, because Saidu has called him, but I am still on the way coming. I have not yet arrived.
Was he only to go and see him, or was he to go and collect the boxes that were used by Abbas in his money doubling dealings?
Oui, nda koyo yahu tan o yiida e wuurijo wona na koyo yahu tan o yetta o yiida o Seydou pour ɓe waɗa feere ɓe suuɗa ɗi keesuji ɗi andandama wondema Abbas ko ɗin nafitorayno ko moƴƴinta ɗi kalisiji kon.
Koyo yaw ɓe yiida ƴetta keesuji ɗe.
Well, the reason for him to go there was for him to go and see Abbas and also to Seydou, so that they can remove those boxes from where they were.
So What happened when you arrived at 6 o'clock?
honno waɗi gilandema hewtuɗa ɗin wattuji jeego
miɗo faala landinde ka wuriɗa taw.
I want to make clear.
I want to make something clear about Wuri.
Please go ahead.
Okay, Wuri ƴetti o toon yahi ha hewti toon tawi Saydou.
Wuri took a vehicle and went there and met Saydou there.
Saydou hollimo box je ɗen.
Saydou showed him the boxes.
Noddila o wi box je ɗo heƴataka o to mi wata naɓude ɗe min ni accuɗe toon.
He called me and said, these boxes cannot fit into this vehicle. I cannot take them, I cannot carry them. I told him to leave them there.
Okay, ko iwata toon o arde box goto.
When he was leaving, he took only one box and came with it.
Joni ɓayro arde on box goto.
When he came with
yidali.
What? Hold on.
Arde on box me yidano.
When he took that box and came, we were unable to meet. I didn't see him.
Joni mi ari mi noto e Saydou e 6 on Alibaba ka Johnson.
Then around 6, I decided to go to Alibaba Junction so that I can see Saydou.
Mi hewti Alibaba mi gari tun.
When I arrived at Alibaba, I just parked aside.
They opened
the doors and they all came in.
Who opened the doors?
There were NIA people waiting. So the moment I parked, they just opened the doors and came in. And they are the operatives of the NIA.
How did they know that you were the person of interest to them, the person that Saydou was talking to?
honno kamɓe ɓe andiri ɓen NIA ɓe ko honno ɓe andiri wondema ko an woni neɗɗo mo andana ko amɓe haajoride ko an woni neɗɗo mo andana hiɗa heɓodirde o Saydoujo.
Ɓe wondi e Saydou.
And in fact, they were with Saydou at that moment.
So Saydou pointed you out to them?
Hino wayni ko Saydou sappi ɓe ma.
Saydou ni ko woni jogo.
Yes, Saydou identified me to them.
Okay, and what happened afterwards?
Gila ɗum waɗi ko honɗum waɗiti?
On say ɓe jippinilam ɓe joƴƴini mi ka hakkunde ɗiɗo goto joɗiga goto joɗiga ɓe ƴetti o toon men yahi Banjul.
And that was the time ko moto maɓɓe yaadi walla koto moto maɓɓe kamɓe.
Sa moto am ɓe yahi ɓe wondi e motoje maɓɓe kono ɓe nayo ɓe natuno ka moto am men yaadi.
They came with their own vehicle, but they came into my vehicle and I was sandwiched between two of them, and they used my vehicle to go to Banjul.
So did they change drivers?
Daɓe sansuno doginoɓe drive uji ɗin doginoɓe motoɓe ɓe sansunodon.
Yes.
So what happened when you arrived in Banjul? Where in Banjul did you go in the first place?
Kondo hewɗon Banjul?
Banjul NIA.
We went to the NIA office in Banjul.
And tell us what happened there.
Joni ɗa wawi haalande ɓe ko honɗum waɗi ɗon gila hewtuɗon Banjul ka NIA ka hoggo maɓɓe ɗon.
Men ɓay men hewti Banjul men naatiri baafal ɓaawol ngal.
When we reached Banjul, we went through the back door and came into the NIA compound.
Men hewti ɓe wi honto Wuri.
When we reached, they asked me, where is Wuri?
Who asked you that?
NIA.
The NIA asked me about Wuri.
Do you know which NIA operatives were involved in this?
Lamin
Dabo. No. Basiru C. Balde.
And Balde.
Do you know Balde's first name?
Balde dandi indama kone.
Is he?
I cannot remember the name.
Is he the same as Alassane Balde?
Kanko wete Alassane Balde.
I don't know his name really, but I just know that they call him Balde.
Proceed, please.
Yeah, that was you halaka.
Group parce que by men nati men taw NIA ton no heavy tef.
And there was a group because the moment we went into the NIA compound, there were many of them around.
Invest.
They said, let them take me to a place called Invest.
That would be the investigation unit of the NIA.
Investigation.
Yes.
Proceed.
By me yahi me nati e bureau. Tay bureau no don. Men e udditi bafal go. Tay suudu go no ka ba sa udditi bafanga anata ton e chambre on fop plafond on leydindi jimmangal fop no penta bode.
Well, after we went in to a room, they opened another inner door where we went in, and that inner room, the whole of the room was painted in red.
Was there anything prominently displayed in that room?
Kandan don suudu don si ana gelana to don da ayuno to kandar suudu don ko andanda hino desina ma hino darna kandar suudu don.
Yes.
Tawno ton tabal njandi.
I met a metal table inside the room.
A robinet.
Plus a standpipe.
A machine masirdu.
And an electrocuting machine. The machine they use, an electric machine they use to electrocute people.
Can you give us a description of that machine? What does it look like?
Machine dahi dawai halande be ko hon o way. Machine
machine non kay fondo mi wata andutude parce que kaminati don tayna piji di mi on darde ko kambe mi suti. Well, mi ala mi natuno don mi andude tay mi acciti andude ko laabe ba mi nati.
Well, when I went into that room, I became disoriented. I saw wires and some other people, but my main concentration was on these people who were inside there.
Was the room well lit, or was it not?
Well, come again, will you take some?
The lighting in the room. How was the lighting in the room?
There was a bulb on inside the room.
Was it well lit, just like here? Or not?
Yes, the bulb was bright.
Okay, good. Proceed. And how many people were in the room? If you can remember.
I cannot remember because there were many of them.
Proceed, please.
They asked me to show them where Wuri was. I told them I don't know where Wuri is presently staying. They said to me, if I don't show them Wuri, they will show me something. And that was the time they handcuffed my hands behind me. And they started beating me.
The
beating was so hard that I told them, okay, don't stop the beating, then I will show you where Wuri is.
What were they using to beat you?
Well, the materials they used to beat me, some were using their bare hands, but some of them had something in their hands which were flexible, but they looked like metal, but they were flexible. These are the things they used to beat me up.
Do you know what is called leaf?
Leaf?
No.
All right. Okay. But was this tool that you talked about, was it made of rubber or was it made of metal? Or wire?
It is, I think it is made of metal, but it has been made in a way which made it flat and flexible.
And what else was used, if you can recall?
Jogi kadi ko wa poreji poreji wonduɗi wa comme jandi no nder ton.
They used rubber, but this type of rubber has metal inside it.
And feel kurani.
Just like an electric wire.
When you were being beaten, were you sitting down or did you lie on something?
Gila bela paino manda ko a jodi no nda ko goddum e hore goddum walino da.
Tabal.
It was a table.
And how did you get on the table?
Honno be wadiri habe hewtude hewtimma ka hore tabal.
Kambe wallini mi.
They took me and placed me on top of that table.
Were you tied to the table?
Habbuno maka do tabal.
Yes.
With what?
Hondum be habbirma.
Be jogi boggi.
They had ropes in
belt center jini.
They had ropes which they used to tie people with.
Did he say center?
Belts.
Center.
That would be belt, right?
Yes, they looked like belts, yeah.
That's right. Do you recall who did that?
Ndahida way manitare ko hombo wadi dum.
Lamin Jata. Group Mako.
And his team.
This Lamin Jata you mentioned, is he different from Lamin Dabo?
O Lamin Jata jo mo wida ndahi mo serti o wiete do Lamin Dabo.
Lamin Dabo mi falju.
I made a mistake. It's Lamin Dabo.
Lamin Dabo.
You had earlier on mentioned two other individuals, Basirusi and Balde. Were they also involved?
Bawo halino no yimbe dido do woni Basirusi kanyum mayete Baldejo. Da kambe gadi be tawano ka tapi golma.
Ibeta kono Basirusi non buri lan tampinde.
They were involved, but it was Basirusi who was more instrumental in the beating.
No said ani o warami.
He nearly killed me.
And for how long were you beaten when you were placed on the table?
Bilandama be lab wallim maka hore tabal e piu gol mangol dum jetti wattuji jelu be piyama.
Wonno don ko buri leer goto e ko fawi.
It was more than 1 hour when they were beating me.
Did you sustain any injuries?
Da gila be piu ma be bari hebuno e gagnande e bandu dum.
Moƴƴano.
Yes, I was injured.
Can you describe the injuries you sustained?
Barame de hebudaare ndahida wayde hollirde haalde yimbe ko honno de wawno.
No ka yitere an do feccino.
Well, in front of me on my face here, somewhere there was a split on my face.
Cut?
A cut.
Yes.
Jungo angon do kadi. Komi waɗayno ko mbayɓe accitilamɓe yo min yaw ka ɗaɓɓitoygo wuuri ɓe ittuno ceenon kami ɓe naaɗi ɓe mi tuɗi jungo ango ɗuma jandini naati ɗo.
And I sustained a wound also on my hand because they untied my hands and said we should go and look for Wuri. But they went on beating me. So usually I will raise up my hand to defend, to stop the beating from reaching my face. That was why I sustained this wound on my hand.
How about on your back? Did you sustain any injuries?
Yes. I sustained injuries on my back too.
And you said there was an electrocution machine.
Was
it used at all on this occasion?
At that time, they didn't use it. Because we left that room to go and look for Wuri. We went up to the compound where Wuri was renting.
Was it the same day?
It was the same night. We found the compound gate locked. They decided to scale the fence and went in and they opened the compound gate from inside. We went inside and I identified Wuri's room to them. They struck on the door, they knocked the door. And there was a stranger in the room there who came here to seek for treatment.
Where did he come from?
He came from Guinea.
How old was he?
Well, he was an old man. He could be 80 years old at that time.
70.
He could be 70 years old at that time.
Okay.
They took him. They threw him on board the pickup. Then we went back to the NIA.
Do you know why they picked him? The old man?
Yeah, they just use power.
When we
arrived at the NIA, they didn't beat him, but they took him to a room and told him to sit down there.
Was it because they couldn't find Wuri, so they took him instead?
Yes, that must be the reason.
They found him in Wuri's room.
Yes.
Did they ask him about Wuri?
They asked him, but he told them Wuri has gone out.
Okay. So, two of you and the NIA officers returned to the NIA, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And what time did you arrive there?
Two.
We arrived at the NIA around 2 a.m.
And then what happened?
When we went in, we returned to the room where they beat me before, and they beat me again and said we should go back to my own room.
And tell us about this second beating. Who was involved?
All of them.
Who is all of them?
Lamin Dabo, a group Mako.
Lamin Dabo and his whole team.
And who are the other members of the team?
Group go bendo mi anda in the map.
Basiru C and the man whose name is Balde, and there were some others, a group which came. I don't know their names really.
Okay. Tell us about this torture. How did it happen?
So when we came back into that room, and they said, so far I refuse to show them Wuri. So by the grace of Allah, they will deal with me. I was beaten so severely that they placed me down and they went and brought a bag. I was placed inside this bag and they tied the bag. And I was placed under a standpipe. And this standpipe was opened on me. They were still beating me and this water was coming on me from the standpipe. I was beaten there until I became unconscious.
The
time I became conscious, the time I woke up, I saw myself outside. I didn't even know the time they took me out of the bag. By that time, when I opened my eyes, I saw Abbas standing. Saidu was there. And somebody else called Kamara. Ibrahim Kamara. And all of them were so severely beaten that you can just you can know by looking at them. And again they said we should return to my house. We went back to my house.
Was this the next day?
That same night. That same night.
But this would have been in the morning.
It was around 5 a.m. When we reached my house again.
But before that, in your second torture, did they put anything in your mouth?
Yes. They put some onions in my mouth. These onions were forced into my mouth.
Do you know why that was done?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. How many times did you faint when you were being tortured?
It was on 2 occasions that I fainted.
And the first time was when they put the onion in your mouth, correct?
Yes.
And the second time was when they put you in the sack and they opened the water tap on you, so the water was dripping inside on you whilst you were inside the sack.
Yes.
Tell us, how did it feel while you were inside the sack and the water was coming onto you while you were in the sack? How did it feel?
This is what made me faint, because at that time I was unconscious of whatever was happening around me.
Did you have the feeling that you were drowning?
Well, at that stage, it was really scary.
No, the question is, did you have this sense while that was being done? Did it feel like you were drowning?
Yes,
it exactly looked like somebody who is drowning.
Okay. So on this occasion, you also fainted a second time.
Yes.
So it was after this that, what happened after that? Sorry.
That was the time we went back to my home. When we reached the home, and they decided to knock on the fence, the compound gate. And that time we came with 4 pickups, plus my own vehicle. The ladies came and opened the door. In fact, my father was lying inside the compound at the time. They came out. They started talking, but I told my father, no, you just keep quiet. These people are here for their own business. But when they set eyes on me, they started crying. They went into my room and ransacked everything inside the room, and they took some items that they had interest on.
What were those items?
I had a coffer for money. One briefcase ni wala.
A safe.
Okay. I had a safe there where I had some money.
How much?
Jelu.
I kept 100,000 there, 100,000 dalasi, huh?
Dalasi.
$100,000 inside that safe because I put it there with the intention of going to buy more merchandise the following morning.
And what else?
They took that plus many other items.
Telephones.
But but before then, before all this happened, did you see Abbas?
No.
You still have not seen Abbas?
Abbas.
Sina kabe pi misake torunu. Abe mi kabe wadi mikasako. Kabe yaltini mikasako bay mi fini. Mi Abbasi Ibrahim Kamara Saidou Sow.
The only time I saw Abbas was when they put me inside that sack and put me under the standpipe. So I fainted. But when I woke up, I saw myself out of the sack. When I opened my eyes, that's the time I saw Abbas plus Hombo
Ibrahim
Kamara and Saidou Sow were standing. That's the only time I saw Abbas.
Did you have a conversation with them?
Abbas ko hala wata wi wolambe ka wuri woni tabe ware.
Abbas told me only one thing: tell them where Wuri is before they kill you.
Did he say why you had to show them where Wuri was?
Da o halan no ko hon dum taki o wi uma wonde ma ya halambe ko honto wuri woni do be warudam da o halan ko dum taki o wi uma dum
wala lede.
No, he didn't tell me anything except that.
Did they tell you anything about a box?
Da be halan no mo affaire kesu
Be halan no la box mo wuri jogi on.
Yes. They asked me about the box that Wuri took. That's why they said, let me show them where Wuri is.
And as a result of that conversation, what did you do?
Joni edo nda yotere ko hebudu dai mabbe ko duwaru da
men noddi be number Wuri on soni.
Then we called Wuri's telephone number and the phone rang.
We keso angal no wali esudu don yahanengal.
Wuri told them that the box is inside his house, let them go for it.
Yeah, men tai box angal don.
We went and met the box inside the house there.
Jetti box angal men hoti.
We took it and left.
Men hoti NIA.
When we reached the NIA,
but before this, did you meet any woman who was associated with Wuri?
O ko do e dum nda on ta on yiuduno e debbo mo andanda wonda ma himo jidi e Wuri.
No.
Do you know who Wuri's girlfriend was at this time?
On jaman mo wonda no da hidanno ko hombo wonno e kele Wuri.
No, me anda.
No, I don't know.
Was any woman arrested for having any connection with Wuri during this period?
Da be nanguno debbo wonda ma be sobidi wonda ma himo famondere e Wuri te himo andi goddum e o fidi boxuji.
Dum ko bayru men yalti woni lebbi jetati men yalti.
This happened
andi be nanguno debbo be nanguno kadi mo Wuri hodidi ka galle to.
Well, this was after 8 months when we came out. They arrested Wuri's girlfriend and they arrested another lady who was living inside the same compound with Wuri. That's what I know about it.
Okay, so your story is on this particular occasion, after all these beatings, you were told that they're looking for the metal box that was taken away by Wuri. You went to Wuri's house to fetch the box, correct?
Awa hino wa ini ko be waduma dum fo ngal piggal ngal be waduma dum fo be accituma be yaaduda e mabbe ka Wuri wiida be yaaduda e mabbe ka Wuri holluda be o box jandijo ka Wuri ka suudu Wuri.
Ona ka suudu Wuri box ngal wonno ko yaasi.
The box was not even inside Wuri's house. It was placed outside Wuri's house.
Okay, but you went to Wuri's home to fetch the box.
Ono ko galle ka wuri ka hodi don ko do yahu don yi'udon gal box casual.
Yes, that's where we went for the box.
All right. And then what happened afterwards?
Joni ko hondu wadi tigila du wadi.
Joni ba men arti NIA.
When we came back to the NIA,
uditingal be tay ko kono block jadidi wonderto.
When we opened the box, we found 2 blocks inside the box.
What do you mean by blocks?
Si awi block kon dum firdi.
Cement block ni
Cement blocks.
2 bricks.
2 bricks.
Ko dum men tay do. On say on C on say nadi lappe mi karedo.
That was the time.
Yaltinali o box men warete hande. Min o box mi alimo mi anda mi memal mi anda hayno way.
And she came back to me and hit me very hard on my stomach, telling me that if you don't produce this box, we will deal with you very severely. I said to him, I don't know anything about this box. I didn't take it. So what is the matter now?
When was this? After the box was found or before the box was found?
Nungo watu hombo hebi ko gilanda box kesu wangal ya ko do wala da ko do ngoy yede.
Box wangal kai ngal box wal don.
That was after they brought this box and opened, but they said it was not the box that they were looking for.
Okay, so they thought there was another box and that you are to produce that box.
Awa hino wa ini kambe be sikki wonde ma wana ngal kesu wal be woni da bidude te joni ko am fodi yaltinde ngal kesu wal ngal be woni ngal da bidude.
No one.
Exactly.
But in the meantime, do you know where were the other boxes that Seydou Sow talked to you about?
Ono joni ha fa hondo on wattu ka wonno non nda an hida anduno de kesuji di heddi di andanda ma Seydou ko di wonno ma halande fi mum nda hida anduno ka di woni
ari be jegindiri ka biro ma be invest do.
And at that time they brought these boxes. They were placed on top of each other in their office where they call invest.
So this other box that they were asking you about, you did not know anything about it?
Awa hino wa ini ngal do case wal ngal be addi ngal be womma landa de fi mungal anda hay fusi magal.
Yes.
This Lamin Dabo, do you know his whereabouts now?
O Lamin Dabo jo ni ka wondo nda hida andi ko honto o woni?
No.
Do you know whether he's still at the NIA?
Nda hida fami wonda nda ni ha joni himo liggo NIA?
Me anda.
No, I don't know.
How about Basiru Si?
Basiru Si no?
Me anda.
I don't know.
How about Balde?
Balde no?
Balde medi photo de Banjul.
Balde, we met in Banjul on one occasion.
Men salmondiro ye mawdo yafo de wana men kadi wana golleng.
Then
men yamira.
He apologized. He apologized to me and said to me, well, please forgive me. We also were acting on orders. It was not our own will that we were dealing with. We were doing these things to you.
At the time you were being tortured at Invest,
do
you know who was the head of that office?
Invest.
Well, what I know about the whole thing is Lamin Dabo and his team were the people who tortured me.
Okay. On this occasion, when you returned to the NIA with the box from Wuri's house, you opened it, it contained only 2 bricks, and you were again attacked by Lamin Dabo. What happened afterwards?
We joni ngol do lawol gilandema yahudon ka wuri to addo don ngal kesuwal addo be addi kesuwal ngal be udditi kesuwal ngal ko be udditi ngal be tawi ton de birge didi joni gilande be udditi birge dan joni o lamindajo o hippi e hoore ma kadi ko hondu wadi te gila dum wadi
joni baydum do ngasi be jetti mi non be naboyi ka suudu ka ben tay don abbasi en buba Gollowa custom.
Then after that, they took me out of that room and took me to another room where I found Abbas and a man called Buba who used to work at the customs.
Camara, Saidu So, Imbe Bui.
Plus Kamara and Saidu So, and a lot of other people.
Yes, proceed.
On say, Beachimi don't have been Subaka Berbe Jetimi Benatica, Laptani Mapedo.
They left me there till in the morning. And in the morning, they came for me and took me to their own medical center.
Where is that medical center located?
It was inside the NIA premises.
And why did they take you there?
Because I sustained injuries. That was the reason why they took me there, so that they can take care of my wounds.
And did you receive any medical attention?
Yes, they dressed my wounds and they gave me paracetamol to drink, plus some other medicines.
Were you released afterwards?
No. They didn't release me. They took me from there. And we were taken to remand.
But how long were you at the NIA before you were sent to remand?
Joni do be jetu dama don bena ma remand ga kasoto ko wattu ji jelu hebuda e jungo mabbe ton ka NIA ton
arime hebi ton lebbi jeego e ko fawi.
But before going to the remand, we spent 6 months plus some days at the NIA.
And where in the NIA did you spend those 6 months?
Nder NIA ton kan re hoggo mabbe ton sengo hongo hebuda de balde lebbi jeego e balde foto ko heddo hondo du wonno da
e mojinani men ton ay mo ka buuto hoy kamen waalo.
They prepared some places for us there where we used to sleep.
And the
room we sleep in is always filled up to the brim with other people.
That was a cell, right?
No, any go celuji.
Don't na cell, parce que me yalta me jodo ya si dom. Ko ni me goddo anda me den ton me yewti data family amen yatame me yata goto.
It wasn't a cell. It was some sort of an open room where we used to stay. But in the morning, sometimes they will allow us to come and sit out because our family members are not even aware of where we were. They don't know where we were. So we were just kept there like that.
So you never had the opportunity to speak to members of your family during this period of your detention?
Awa hino ini waktu mo wonno da fo e jungo mabbe ton e jungo a hebani e lawongol wawa yidude musidal ma sako yewta e mabbe
ay goto hay ko men borno ko men borni ko men wupata men lila men borno.
Even a single member of our families were not allowed to see us or to talk to us. Even our clothes, we have to take them off, wash it ourselves, dry it, and put it on again.
Were you given any bed while you were there, or bedding, something to cover yourself when you go to sleep?
What to wonno don tangong dabbe jonnu no ka walo don si wana dum gadi ko mbajjuje ko sumoro don mojjoro don.
Yes, they gave us something to place on the floor, to lie down on, and something else to cover ourselves.
How about food?
Nyamete on no.
Nyamete be jonna men go to be 75.
As for food, everybody will be given $75.
Men itira ko je no gay joy, men sotira no gay joy, men hirtora no gay joy.
$25 for breakfast, $25 for lunch, $25 for dinner.
Were you taken before a court during that period?
What to mono down a jungo mabbe ton dabbe medi mana bude e suudu nyawirdu
yande be ituno men no be nabi ka suudu nyawirdu ko direct ka remind be nabi men.
The day they removed us from there, we went directly to the remand wing at the prison.
So you are not taken before a court during that 7 months of detention?
No, they didn't take us to any court.
You said you were personally tortured. several times. How about Abbas and Seydou Sow?
Awi
Did anything happen to them?
Awi wanda ma antige horema Allah pama labi dududi. Joni non o Abbas non kanyum ma Seydou Sow ben non ko ben kadi da wodi ko be wada.
Abbas me wonno bayre nyande tay o piyama de nyande mi finuno kami be itilanka sako kami be don tay ko piyabe ha ban mum boni.
The day I was put in a sack, after I woke up, I saw myself out of the sack. When I opened my eyes, I saw Abbas and the others standing. Just by looking at them, you will know that they were severely beaten because you can even see it on their bodies.
Kadime wondo ha nyande sappo September.
We were there until on the 10th of September.
Aroyi 3.
They came around 3 o'clock.
They took Abbas.
They took Abbas.
They took Saidou.
They took Saidou. They took them away. But when they were brought back, again, all their bodies there were injury marks on all their bodies.
Do you recall who took them?
Andi be mari security be hew be tom be sansondiray security jogo ara tun jetibe me andi ta town.
They used to change duties. These people were picked up by other members of the same operatives who worked there and taken away, and they were dealt with and brought back.
I be hewti men wulni ndiam me je tay be acci ton kitela me baransi modo mi itti time do jogi triko ondawe goto mi itti onno mi wada kandiam mi hama mi dabbabe hebino be manore ha weti be nat be kadi kalaptani.
Well, when they were brought in that night, because they were so severely beaten that when they came, as there was a kettle in the room there, I decided to warm some water for them, and I took a soft cloth, which I took to dab their wounds on their bodies so that the bleeding will stop. Then after some time, when the bleeding stopped, we stayed until in the morning when they were taken. And in the morning, they themselves came and picked up these people and took them to the hospital.
Was this the only time you know that these two individuals were tortured, Abbas Jaju and Seydou Sow?
Dako watu dan wonno watu mo andan a famu da wonda ma Abbas Jaju kanyum may Seydou wonda ma be piyama ko watu tan woni mo anduno da be piyaga
ko mi seedo rigite an kon kono ko be wolani mi kon parce que Abbas nanga woni balde tati simimi nanga tayo tampi.
What I witnessed and what Abbas later told me was, because Abbas was arrested 3 days before I was arrested, but what I witnessed was this time when they were tortured, as I said.
While you were at the NIA, did you see other people tortured, apart from Abbas and Seydou?
What mo wonno da on NIA si feji Abbas kanyum may Seydou nda yiwu yimbe wobbe wonda wobbe be anda ma be piyama ton kadi
kame wontonde me yiwada be ditenton buy kono piyabe bano men pirano on saidon mi ali.
Well, there were many people detained who I saw being brought in there, but the beatings that we endured or the beatings that we encountered, I didn't see any other person being treated like that around the area where we have been detained.
During this period, did you come to encounter any of the senior officials of the NIA?
What for mo wonno da tongo nda what hebike mo andanda ma wondema a hawrondiri ma a fewtondiri e be yimbe yesobe mabbe ben woni yesobe mabbe NIA ton ben.
Nyande julde o wiete do Yankuba Baji o arno ton e kanko e gardobe mo ben.
Yes.
Kamen wonton.
On the day of Eid prayers, the man called Yankuba Baji came there with his bodyguards.
O wi on yafotode on si on juli on toroto Allah ndaron si tay Allah hoynana be accita on min namin jogi on de.
What he told us was, today is prayer day. You also pray to Allah so that they can release you people. But I want to tell you people that I am not the man responsible for your detention here. You can pray to Allah so that you can be released.
Ojeti oyayo inni gardo mako goto wi yaw adana be ngari bali gotil ko be wada tabaxi.
He told one of his bodyguards to go and bring a goat so that we also...
Bali.
Okay, he told one of his bodyguards to go for a sheep, which we can also come and slaughter and eat because of the prayer day on that day.
Did he know that you were tortured?
Yes, he knows.
Why do you say that?
They were all there. They know. After these tortures we went through, when sometimes they are taking us back, we used to see them standing, and they will look at us and know what we've gone through.
And that includes who?
All the heads of that place. On that day, nobody slept there. They were all standing outside the rooms at the NIA compound there.
Like who?
Yankuba Mendi.
Yankuba, Mendi, Mendi, the person who passed away, Mendi was there too.
Luis. Was there. Before I
know these two people's names, but they are genius. All of them were there.
Good. And this old man who was taken from Wuri's house, what happened to him?
Oh, Maudo. Mo andanda ma wanda hibe jetti mo kan rasudu wuri. Ko hondu wadi mo?
Moto lebbi jeddi mo jodi to.
He was there. They kept him there for 7 months.
You told us about Wuri's woman having also been arrested, his girlfriend. Could you explain that?
Awi halani do yimbe wonda makade wuri jo makon kadi be nanguno mo. Ndahi da way halande yimbe seeda e fi won don kadi.
Ondo mi anda.
No,
mi yali kaunanga mi tawaka kaunanga.
Then I didn't witness her arrest, and I was not at that time in their hands when she was arrested. So this is why I don't know what happened.
Okay. So after 7 months at the NIA, you were transferred to remand. And then what happened after that?
Bilandama hebuda lebbi jeedi di jungo mabbe. Bilandama di lebbi jeedi di timmi be yetuma ka don be nabirma ka kaso janoto ko hondu waditi?
E wonton kadi lebbi didi.
We stayed there for another 2 months. And that was the time when we were bailed.
Were you prosecuted?
Yes, we were taken to court.
And what was the outcome?
The trial went on until last year.
And what was the outcome?
Parce que oya jojo wi wo kanko o yali hunde ko wata men jogira de loi on forçay mo yo accutu men e kadi o acciti men.
The judgment that the lawyer the judge said when he gave judgment, he said that, well, he has not seen any evidence why they should keep us there. So the only thing he can do is follow the law and release us.
Eba hay lawyer ang on tigi time bari meden ton lebbi fayda lebbi jena mi hebali ko mi yobamo ko mi fuddi mo tun hani mi gaynal mo yobude.
Even my lawyer, I was unable to complete his payment because we were there for all these 9 months. I cannot even continue paying him.
Ke hay galle ko kaydi galle ko mi belira kon no tomba ko lawyer on do andi hande o yahanali bari mbudi makko din timmali.
My compound's deeds are still with them because as far as I was unable to complete the payment of my lawyer, he was unable to go and collect these documents from them.
Because he is the one who is supposed to go and collect the compound deeds.
And Did your detention have any other impact on your business?
joni nangugol ko nangada ko fof wattumo ɓe joɗɗima on dula goro nda ɗum heeɓi caɗele ko joɗɗo business ma o
bon no fof
All my business deals were broken.
tampini famille an on fof
My family suffered.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
a jarama o wi joni ko hanko ko ɗum ɗo heɓanma
Thank you, lead counsel. Thank you, witness.
o wi député kia ko woni hikki e kiyama noon o wimo a jarama council a jarama en kadi seede on e seedeyagal ma ngal jonirɗa ngal
Commissioners, if you have any questions.
joni himo landade commission naɓe ɓe nda woodi e maɓɓe kala heɓuɗo koɗo heɓu ko landoma no wawi ma landade e dow ko haalɗa ɗo kon
Commissioner Samba.
commissioner Samba o wi himo heeɓi ko mari ko landotoma
Amadou.
o wima Amadou
Mire jarama yafanalan.
She's saying thank you. You forgive her too.
Mi falima lamdude 100,000 on ko lamin dabo jetti kon kerbe ruttinoma kalis ma on.
I want to ask, the $100,000 Sidal Lamin Dabo took, did they return it to you?
oh yeah
No,
hettali
I didn't get that money.
Anna to lamin woni ka lamdani mo mbudi din ha joni.
anda ka woni mi ƴantali mi alima goy
I didn't set eyes on him. This is why I was unable to ask for my money.
Eyo ajarama yalla newno.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Samba. Imam.
commissioner imam si on kadi landotoma
Amadou on jarama jof.
Thank you, Amadou.
On jii tampere mawle.
You people have encountered serious suffering.
Hono mawɗo ma o kadi ɗum addanamo caɗele.
Your father, did he also encounter any problems?
hokkunoma caɗele mawɗe
He also had some serious problems.
ay komin wonno fof
Because I was the only sustainer of the family.
Thank you, witness.
e jarama seeɗa o
My question is in relation to your title deeds.
Komi lamdotoma ko ɗum woni kaydiji galle ma.
If the lawyer could not retrieve them on your behalf,
Sita lawyer o wawani yahande ɗin kaydiji.
why did you not go to the, how do you call it, NIA to ask them for yourself?
Ko ɗum haɗima yahude NIA pour lamda ɗumen fi ɗin kaydiji.
ko haɗimi ya NIA kay ɓeyde hay mi rewi ka damal maɓɓe ɗo mi darita toon na fi mi heɓa mi ala on fit ha ni natoygol toon
NIA, I'm so scared of them. Even when I pass their compound gate, I daren't look around that area. I'm still afraid of them.
kadi ko high court mi beela wona ka maɓɓe.
And secondly, I was bailed at the High Court, not at the NIA.
Documents are with the High Court.
So no any kaidiji ma den ko High Court diwuni.
The High Court.
Yes, they are at the High Court.
Okay, commissioners, chair. Bishop.
Thank you, Madam Deputy. Mr. Amadou Johe Sow.
Bishop Amadou Jogo Sow.
When were you actually released by the court?
Damgal nyawore on ko waktu hombo be accitima. I can say it is this year. It was in this year that I was released. At the beginning of the year.
So was it that the case was dismissed?
No, dal ko nyaworende ko be radinde ko be wopudum be yaltini nyaworende. Yes, it was dismissed.
Well, in that case, don't you think you should be able to go and request for your title deeds from them?
Sita ko non yari dum non awawa yade lamda dumen kaydiji ma galle sita ko non yari.
mi yahi ton ɓe wi yomi kaydi komi yaltiri kon ka koto yomi naɓundi ka ɗuma to mi naɓi toon ɓen waɗi windi ko windata kon mi ari mi jonni debbo jonni to o kaydiji ɗin o windi ko windata kon fof o wiilan ndi kaydi ko yimɓe ɗiɗo wawi ndi arandema jooma mayri illa sina ɗum loyama on.
I tried to get those papers when I went to the High Court. They gave me a paper. And the lady wrote some things there, as you know, I haven't gone to school. What she wrote there, I don't know. They told me to take it to another place. When I went to that place, they also wrote something, and I came back. Now they told me that these papers should be collected by the people who brought them here. So this is why I was unable to lay hands on these documents.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, witness, you can address the commission if you have anything to say. Thank you.
Joni non wayri be lamdo be mabe pari. Joni ankala be okima lawol pour leba halana yimbe ko woni e nder bernde ma e ko halanta yimbe leydi ndi ko yida ko bernde ma ko mojjani leydi ndi ko mojjani yimbe ben.
Komi wawi de yimɓe leydi Trrc on holli jama on golle moƴƴe.
What I can say to the people here, especially the countrymen, is that Trrc is doing a wonderful job.
E holli jama on kala ka wonɗa hiɗamari gonga ma on sa woli no moƴƴema.
And they really showed the people that if people really have their rights, and it is the people's rights to speak the truth, whatever happened, let them always be truthful.
And
if you do that, they don't beat you, they will not insult you, they will not create any problems for you. And that really made me very, very happy. We are very happy about the job you are doing. So I'll pray to Allah to protect you and bring progress into whatever you are doing. This is what I can tell the Gambian people.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Sow, for your testimony. We'll take a 30-minute coffee break and come back at 12:05. Sorry, thank you, Deputy, for deputizing me. I had to.
Ajara matigi Amadou Jogo Sow, men weltani mabui ko jabuda kon pour ara okira sede agalma men weltani ma dum don menen kala meden ma nyagana.
Sorry, I had to take an urgent phone call from Geneva. Sorry. But anyway, thank you so much. 12:05, we come back. Meeting is adjourned.